This is from the Petty Corner. I'm Petty Diana, and today I have Alan the Kryptonian Klingbeil here with me. Welcome back to the Petty Corner, Superman.
What's going on, Petty? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Doing a lot better, honestly, because I felt like I was going to die the last few days, but I'm doing good. I see you finally got that S on your chest.
That's right. That's right. Trademarked, obviously, by DC. But hey, James Gunn, if you need somebody better looking than David Cornsweat, I'm here. I'm here for you.
Hey, he was an actor on the CW, all right? So put some respect on his name.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we haven't spoken in a while. We try to speak before your fight, after your fight, whatever. It didn't happen. But it was about a year or so since you have last competed, because the last time we saw you was on the Road to the Title Season 3.
Right.
And it just so happened the opponent that you faced at Power Slap 13 was Luke Simons. And it came down to, was it a split decision?
It was a split decision.
So it came down to a split decision. I spoke to Luke beforehand. He said he wanted to knock you out, and I'm sure you came with that same energy, like you're wanting to knock him out, and you did get those results. So what was it like for you to get that call?
Honestly, I was just super pumped. I didn't even get a phone call. I got a text message. It was just like, "Hey, do you want to fight Luke Simons?" Which is so great because I love, shout out to Erica. I think she's known me long enough to where she just feels comfortable to be like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I want to knock the guy out that like got a split decision on me." So no, 100%. The moment I got it, I was over the moon about it. I had just so I was on a deployment and I was supposed to be working that weekend, but they decided to end it early, like 3 days beforehand. So I was like, man, that would be cool if I got a call, but I was like, it's too close. There's no way. They've already like called all these other people, and sure enough, I want to say it was like 3 or 4 weeks out, which is also probably the longest that I've gotten in a long time for like, hey, do you want to come do this? More or less phone call from them. So I don't know, man. I was super pumped. Thank you all. Thank you, Power Star. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, did you care like that he was your opponent? Did you want somebody else? I think he was originally lined up with Turpin, from what he told me, and then Turpin had pulled out. But then we just saw him back. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Did you want him as an opponent, or did you want someone higher in the rankings, like Russ or Vern or Turpin or Wolverine?
I mean, obviously, I think everybody wants somebody higher ranked, So I was hoping for Russell or Turpin. I wasn't really. I don't think either of us really want to. I'm going to leave that how it is. But anyway, needless to say, we're all very eager to get to the championship, right? So I think the only way to do that really is to beat someone higher ranked than you at some point, right? And for me, to go backwards would just not really be helpful. So Luke was I think number 4 at the time. I was number 6, and I was like, cool. If I knock this guy out, that's got to put me up in rankings. And hey, man, I got to tell you, today I was just like freaking ecstatic. I went to lunch and I saw that I went up to number 2 after Power Slap 14, and I was like, let's freaking go. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So speaking of the rankings, before Power Slap 13, it was like, who's next after Russell? Because Turpin, we don't know what he's doing. Vern, and then there was Luke, and then there was you. And, Power Slap math doesn't math, and someone knocks somebody out, the other person knocks them out, blah, 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 whatever. Sorry, I completely lost my train of thought of where I was going with that. Yeah, so there was a lot of talk with the rankings. I feel like now that's finally settled after Power Slap 14. So do you feel like where you're at in the rankings now, do you feel like you deserve the title shot next, or do you feel that maybe Russell and Wolverine need to go one more time before you get the next opportunity, or you and Russell?
All right, I'll say this. I love Russell. So I would love to see him back out there, but hey, here's the real side of that, right? Like there was no definitive strike for anybody on that one, and I think the people deserve to see a real champion. And I think if you put Alan the Kryptonian Klingbeil out there with Ron Botto, you're going to get a knockout, and that knockout's coming from me and Ron Botto hitting the ground, and I'm going to be the light heavyweight champion. So I think that's what the people deserve. I think that's what Power Slap deserves. I think you deserve a Superman for sure. So.
I love it. And when would you like to come back to Power Slap?
I'm sorry, why?
When?
Oh, when? Yeah, when.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes, why would you like to come back to Power Slap?
are we like newly acquainted? But like, uh, So I October 3rd, I think, is the new. I mean, the sooner the better, right? Like, but I think October 3rd is the first one, and I'm eager to do October 3rd. I think that would be a phenomenal card to be on, and everyone's probably eager to be on that one. But hey, you need a strong, great championship out there, and I think Isaiah versus uh, Brandon, and then Alan Klingbeil versus Ron Bata, obviously are the go-to championships. You should be putting on that card for sure. So yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so all the guys that we had mentioned earlier, that there was like a lot of talks of who goes where, blah blah blah. I feel like that's all settled now. I just wanted to get your thoughts on like what you thought of their matches. So there was obviously you and Luke, and then um, Wolverine and Russell was on that same card,
Right.
and then there was just Austin Turpin and Vernon Cathy. Um, Theirs was at a heavy catch weight or something. Um, but I assume they're both going to go back down to 205. But what did you think of both those matches outside of yours?
I mean, yeah, so obviously shout out to Ron and Russell, but hey, at the end of the day, like I'm a kind person. I like to be kind, but hey, this is a mean sport, right? Like you guys sucked. Everyone wanted you to do well, and it was the worst match I've ever seen, like in the longest time ever. I'm like, you're a championship match. Pull it together. Someone work out harder, strike harder, do something. Like literally in that moment, you've got to reach in, find it somewhere. You're like, okay, last round, I just got to knock this guy out. You got to do something, man. That thing stunk. That fight absolutely stunk. Love you guys, but hey, you sucked. So just being honest, let me fight this guy. Come on. I think Ron's just kind of cruising a little bit there. But yeah, Vern versus Terp. I mean, hey, Terp got the knockout. That was easily, regardless of how you feel about the knockout, I think it's just like it's an incredible aesthetic, right? So I think it'll easily be replayed for like the longest time because of the way Vern fell over on that table. So I think it's like that other guy at Power Slap 13. I can't think of who it was, but he got schlepped and he like clocked the table and then fell down, and then they had like a billion views on that video.
Dante Smiley.
Yeah, I felt terrible for that guy, but hey, it's just like it wouldn't even matter if that was a DQ. That knockout in and of itself would have been, but not
I
that it
just would
was.
like to add, because I
Yeah,
was there live and
yeah,
then like they just posted it
yeah.
now.
Hmm.
Um, that was for a new person coming into the sport. That was the most beautiful placement and like
Yeah,
form and strike I've ever seen. Because normally, new people coming in, like the nerves, the lights, the this and that, like they tend to foul until they get that experience. But that was perfect, almost. So shout out to Stunt Marshall.
absolutely. I think it's maybe because they had some camera experience and some stage experience, maybe. So they're
Yeah,
used
some
to.
wrestling and part Savannah Bananas.
Yes, yes. Oh man, that's incredible. I didn't realize that about him. That makes so much more sense though. Like that.
Yeah, so I think he's like on the party. Is it called the Party Animals? Like
Yeah.
the rivals of the Savannah Bananas, but still like the being out there in front of a huge crowd and all that. So
Yeah, this is like, I mean, that's his sweet spot right there. Power Slap's probably easy for him. He's like, this is the best sport ever. Like, no, yeah. So for that, it's like, I don't know, especially with like, I don't know, Turpin not making weight for so long, and then coming in, he easily weighed somewhere between 25 to 30 pounds more than Vern, right? And so did he deliver? 100%. I think even Frank was like super ecstatic that like Terp knocked Vern out the way that he did. But I guess from my perspective, it's like, hey man, that's not a light heavyweight match, right? So I'm not enthused by it. As far as I understand, it was contracted as a heavyweight, so it's like, cool, go back up to heavyweight, knock out those dudes. Like let me take over here because I'm always on weight, ready to go. So and I also deliver. So there you go.
yeah, well, I mean, I can't speak for anybody. I don't know what Turpin went through, but he took a year off,
Yeah,
had a baby.
yeah,
That's amazing for his family.
for sure.
uh now that he finally came back and got that little taste again, I kind of like, since I've been home, I've been seeing him at the gym every single day, so maybe that little fire under him to get back to where he was or needs to be.
Sure. And I'll just be honest, like, in private conversations, I think, like, I would love, as long as I get to fight Ron first, then I wouldn't mind running it back with him, a second time with Turp. But like, honestly, I think just strictly because he was at the heavyweight level, does it really matter, like weighing 30 pounds over somebody to get in and do like a light heavyweight match against somebody who had to gain weight for that? Like he was cutting, that guy was trying to gain weight just so he could compete with Turp. And that takes a toll on your body just as much as like trying to dehydrate, basically, like in my opinion. So, um, I don't know. I think if anybody deserves a championship match, it should be Alan, the Kryptonian Klingbeil. And of course, am I being a little bit of a politician for myself here? 100%. So that's not necessarily the question. Did I love the match? No, I didn't love the match because I was like, well, crap, if I weighed 30 more pounds than somebody else, I might clock them a lot harder. Like, but outside of that, I mean, it was beautiful to watch. There's no doubt about it. So, yeah.
Yeah. And it was extremely impressive from you because your guys' match, you for you and Luke, you came in with experience against him, and you've had really crazy matches before, crazy knockouts. And Luke, after the show, went on this trajectory, knocking out every single opponent that he had. And I feel like had it been the other way around, and them trying to offer him Turpin, had he went through Turpin, he probably would have been for the title next.
Oh,
Which,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's extremely impressive for you, someone we haven't seen in such a long time, coming off that split decision. I was about to say unanimous decision lost. But yeah.
Well, I think everybody knows I won that match, and so I'm not going to go there, but hey, I'll go there. The producer, like there was a plethora of people directly after the match that came back and said they were pissed off because they knew I had won and it had something to do with one of the judges. And I was like, all right, that's all I need to know. I mean, it sucks because, I wanted to win and go on and fight in Dubai and do all the things that he did. But hey, what? I'm a firm believer in the Lord. Think he had his plan. Everything worked out in the exact way that it needed to, and I delivered, and it was great because Luke built himself up, and everybody, they handed him some easy matches. I do think the one with TJ was like total BS, in my honest opinion. He probably should have been DQ'd for the amount of times he flinched during that one, because, and I'll say this, like, Colton Cole is probably one of the hardest hitters that I've gone up against. Right, like when he hit me, it definitely hurt. I'm not gonna lie. He's a phenomenal fighter. Shout out to him, and a great chef. Obviously, he's a phenomenal chef. But the same thing. It's like you're like breaking your hand at a certain point because you're hitting the top of somebody's skull with like an open hand, and you're just like, I don't know. You're basically breaking your wrist and your hand and all that. I can't imagine the micro fractures that TJ got. But on top of that, I don't know. He just got. I mean, he did get laid out. But I'll say this: TJ was not in his prime shape, right? And so I just feel like they just lined this kid up with some easy matches. They built him up, and I'm so thankful because then when I knocked him out, it looked way better than it was. So that's my honest opinion. Yeah.
Hey, I mean, it did look, as a fan outside the sport, it did look super impressive. This guy coming off the show, knocking out 4 people, rookie of the year.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Next.
whoa, whoa, whoa! Knock out 4 people? I mean, he definitely didn't knock me out, Diana.
So, my bad. Sorry. I got my numbers mixed up. All right.
I'm just
So
saying.
did he knock out 3? I can't. Okay.
3 guys.
Don't take my words too literal.
I'm just saying.
Okay, let's go
didn't
back
move
to
me
the
out of the
flinches really
box.
quick. I know we're not going to get too much into Power Slap 14
Yeah.
because I haven't had time. Like, I always love to watch it back completely. Just so I can. It's different watching it live than in person. You see different things. So every time I go live, I always come home and rewatch it. I've only been able to get through like half of them, but I can't remember who it was. But like the first flinch, they gave him a point. I was like, I have never seen that in my life before.
Yeah. Yep. It's a new
That was
thing.
wild.
It's a new thing.
So they can give you a point for the first flinch, not just a slap, and then if you do it again, you get a point and another slap.
Yes. Yeah. So it's wild
Oh,
because
okay.
it
I
used
didn't
to
know that.
be you had the choice. Do you want to take the point or do you want to take the additional hit? And everybody was
Okay.
like, I want to hit this guy, obviously, so but now it's the first one. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy. Okay. And then I was talking to somebody. I said, I'm so surprised that Vern flinched. Right. But then they were like, well, it's kind of like something subconscious in your head just coming off because he's never fouled before. So like coming off of like the way he was knocked out the first time, like it's just your body's natural reaction.
It's really hard to call it that because I'll tell you this, and I think a lot of other power slappers can confirm this. This isn't just me sticking up for Vern here, but like if you bite down, like if you during the rules meeting they do like if it's like this and they I think part of the reason why they changed the rule was actually because of Paige Van Zant. Like, what is a flinch? And what they came to was if you move your head, it's not a flinch. It's only a flinch if it changes the trajectory of the slap, right?
Mhm.
So, but during the rules meeting, they almost always bite down like super like egregiously. So this is like what it looks like in the rules meeting. They're like, you can do this, and this is a bite down, and we won't call it. It's like, and you're like, okay, well that you we know you're gonna call it, but that's what Vern did. So it's like, is that a flinch at that point? You know what I mean? So I had some people make comments about me. I'll definitely say on that first one was pretty iffy on whether or not I did it, but I just tend to bite down in one direction. So I'm just biting down like this, right? And so that's supposed to be allowed. But it's really up to the ref at the end of the day. There's no measurement of like head movement other than does it change the trajectory of the slap. So for me, I can't speak to Vern because I haven't done an assessment on it enough yet. But on the overhead cam, if you see Luke Simon's first slap, everybody's like, "Oh, you flinched," and I'm like, "Not within the new rule set, right?" Because if you see the overhead cam, his hand was going to go past, like his fingertips, despite not having a big hand. He doesn't have a hand as big as mine or a lot of other people's. Like his hand was much further back, and his fingertips were past my head. So even if I hadn't have moved my head the amount, which is like, it's like roughly like this, but on the camera it looks a lot worse than it is. It wouldn't have changed the trajectory of the slap, therefore they called it a club as opposed to a flinch. And so with Vern, I don't know. I don't know. That's my assessment of that situation. If you really want to know, I'm like, I don't know that it was truly a flinch. It just looks that way to people because he did this, but you're like, but that's what
Mhm.
they tell us we can do in the rules meeting. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there you go.
Which I read up on the rules a long time ago because like everyone was like, "Oh, Paige is flinching," blah blah blah.
Hmm.
And I think even before Paige did power slap, like that was the rule. So like you can have movement as long as it doesn't change the trajectory of the strike.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
yeah, the crowd
it
was
was
super
written.
annoyed. They're like, "Nah, he flinched. He needs another slap."
I felt bad. I was like, bro, that fucking sucks. I'm sorry, bro. I,
Yeah.
I was like,
So we're not going to get too much into this, obviously, like I said. But what did you think? Going there as a fan. You've been a fan in Vegas, and you've been to a fan now leaving Las Vegas into Louisiana. So, like, what was your experience like there, and what did you think of the arena and everything?
Um, yeah, I mean, I'm a fan in the same way that a martial artist is a fan that goes to watch another fighter fight, right? Like it's just it's to watch technique, it's to watch what's going on with the sport. They come up with changes to the rules and stuff like that. And then on top of that, you get to be around people that are the only people you could possibly relate to at the same time, right? So I love going anytime, just to support my guys because I don't know. I like a lot of the guys and they like me, and it seems to encourage a lot of people. I've been able to be a coach before, so some of those people, I get to run through things with them, and we're just excited and we encourage each other, and because it's a hell of a sport, man. You got to stand there and just take somebody just smacking the crap out of you, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, what a!" I mean, basically, people just roast you 90% of the time anyway, and then the other people are like, "That's so badass," and then they just move on, and there's nothing to talk about other than those things, right? So it's just being viral, having very few conversations or a crap ton of criticism. And the only people you could possibly talk to uh, are other people who do the sport most of the time, or like super fans, basically, but or people like you, it's just like God, I don't know. So I love being there anytime, for all of those reasons. But yeah, being in Vegas is always super cool. I love anytime I'm in Vegas. I think the fans are electric and people really enjoy going. I think at first, like, people didn't even know they could buy a ticket, and then once they found out, they're like, "Hell yeah, I want to go!" Like every time I'm in an Uber with somebody on the way over or whatever, they're like, "You could buy a ticket to this thing? I thought you had to be famous or something to go." And you get to, it just builds, like, people just love being there. I'm not gonna lie. Anytime you see somebody get slapped in the face, just like it's just, I don't know how to explain it to people. I'm like, if you watch it all the way through, actually, and not just the clips, you're gonna enjoy it. But if you go in person, you're gonna fall in love with it, and you're like, I got to go to every one of these events. Like, tons of people have gone to just almost every single one since they started going to one, basically, right? So in New Orleans, it's a totally different scene. You were there. Bourbon Street is wild, and dangerous, I feel like. And
You see the 7 bodyguards I had walking me back to my hotel?
oh, hey, I did. They're great guys. Very upstanding, good boys. Very great gentlemen.
Good boys.
Oh yeah. No, that
No, I
was
just
legit.
think like the crowd in the South, there was nothing like it. I It was really great to see it outside of Las Vegas. I'm really glad that I got to make it there. I think I prefer it better in an arena than I do in the Fontainebleau, which I love the Fontainebleau. Don't get me wrong, that's like home, for Power Slap in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But I think I prefer it in an arena. I think it was perfect.
Well, I agree with you, and I think that's where they want to take it anyway. And so it's just as simply as like, you know, I don't run events, but I do know about running events, and I have in the past. Like, you need ticket sales, you need numbers, you need to be able to sell it to somebody why your event should be here and there, and they killed it. I don't know that it was 100% sold out, but it sure did look like 95% of the seats were gone. So,
So I think the one side that was like completely empty, like they didn't even sell those
yeah,
seats.
right,
And then like I was in the media, which was like center stage, like up in the stands. Directly across from me was the camera, so just like a couple of the seats around them, they didn't put anybody because they didn't want nobody touching the camera. But
right.
then everything else looked packed.
I agree. I mean, like, and that's what I mean. Like, from the seats that were actually sold,
Hmm.
easily over 95%, probably somewhere
I'm
in the
pretty. I
90s.
think I think Frank said it. They actually sold out.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, because that's what I was wondering, and yeah, like you said, sorry.
You're good.
I think, yeah, I mean, realistically, I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you. The whole South thing, to me, Nevada is technically the South, but I can see your point there that Las Vegas is kind of like a
It's the
hodgepodge.
West. Don't get it twisted.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Oh, like, but
It's the Southwest.
all right, I'll give you that. Yeah, I think Texas is the place to be, in my honest opinion. I think if you come to Texas, you'll find a
Texas
lot
would
of.
love it. They would pop off.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love for Frank. Frank, if you at all watch this, I don't know that you do, but you probably do because Petty's amazing. So who doesn't watch this? I know Dana does. So hey, Dana, here's the reality. I know people that could get you into the Frost Center, which is formerly the AT&T Center of the. Not that you need to get in and to anywhere, but we could sell this thing, man. Let's get it in San
Yeah.
Antonio, Texas, and Military USA. Watching the whole world will watch, but more than that, you will have every seat filled with an absolute fan. They're gonna love it. You could probably fill easily like 20,000 seats, no problem. Like, I imagine probably even more than that. But hey, I could definitely guarantee you're gonna get somewhere around that number. You should come to San Antonio, Texas, not Dallas. Dallas is a chump. Dallas is a bunch of liberal idiots out there. There's nothing out there. You got the Mavericks. What a joke! This is
You got the
Spurs Town.
Cowboys.
Let's go. Yeah, okay. Cowboys don't really practice in Dallas, though, do they? So they're like,
Shots fired.
yeah,
Hey Dana, have your people call his people.
that's right. That's right. Let's go. 210, baby. San Antonio, Texas. Remember the Alamo? This is where it should be. The first
Hey, I
Texas
lived
power supply.
there. I was stationed at Lackland.
Let's
No,
go.
not well, no. Was it Lackland? Is that where?
That's where you go do training. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I lived there for what is the training? 8 weeks. I lived
Yeah.
there for like 2 months. I love Texas though.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get to see much except for like Family Day or whatever, but it was cool.
Hell yeah. Come on, Petty. Yeah, come down to Texas. We'll put you up, right? We'll get you a nice hotel.
Oh, I've been to Dallas a few times.
Oh God. I'm sorry.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I know. It's been 2009 was the last time that I've been back there. So yeah, Power Slap, take me back to my Air Force roots,
Let's
where
go.
it all started.
Let's go. Fly, fly, win, baby.
Yeah, huh? All right, Alan, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your time. I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Hey, if you don't follow Petty, make sure you do. Also, shout out to Wolfpack. They're the ones that sent me this really cool little Velcro Superman thing, but also they have incredible bags. If you're an athlete, you definitely want a Wolfpack bag. But hey, even more so, you want to be watching Diana Petty here in her Petty Corner telling you the great news, the inside news, and her take on Power Flex. So,
I appreciate you, Alan.